Okay.
See it, there's a cat.
In just a fleeting moment, an ordinary adventure can turn into a terrifying nightmare. Whether it's a horrific high-speed crash on a bumpy road or a stranger silently appearing deep in the woods, these moments prove that safety is an illusion. If you find yourself being followed in the middle of the night, do you know how to react? A small group of friends set out on a hiking trail they knew well, following a routine they had maintained for months. Once a month, they met to walk a different route, using the time to unwind, reconnect, and enjoy being outdoors. Nothing about that day seemed unusual. The atmosphere was relaxed as they laughed, talked, and occasionally stopped to take photos and selfies. Everything about the hike felt familiar and secure. That sense of ease changed abruptly. While stopping for pictures, one of them noticed movement among the trees nearby. A man slowly emerged from the woods and stepped onto the trail. What felt unsettling wasn't just that he appeared, but how wrong he looked for the setting. He wasn't equipped for hiking, no backpack, no suitable footwear, no outdoor gear, just ordinary clothing that didn't match the environment. Later, the group described him as appearing confused. His movements lacked steadiness, and his behavior was difficult to interpret. In that instant, the laughter disappeared, replaced by a quiet awareness that something felt off. The group adjusted their behavior immediately. Casual filming stopped, and they spoke softly to one another, evaluating what to do next. Past warnings and stories they had seen online came back to them. They reminded themselves to stay close together, remain alert, and return to their vehicle calmly. As they continued along the trail, the fear stayed controlled rather than frantic. They didn't run, and they avoided interacting with the man altogether. Still, the tension lingered. At times, they felt as though they might be observed or followed. Instead of turning around to check, they stayed grouped and kept moving, focused only on leaving safely. Eventually, they reached their car and drove away without any further incident. There was no confrontation and no clear explanation for who the man was or why he was there. Later, the group shared the footage as a reminder that awareness is important, even during peaceful activities like hiking. Nature isn't always as empty as it seems, and sometimes the most disturbing moments are the quiet ones when instinct signals it's time to leave and you listen. Do you believe this was harmless or something that could have become far worse? Shaylee Wanders, a travel-focused content creator, was camping near a peaceful lakeshore, taking in the stillness and open air. The situation shifted abruptly when she stepped away from her tent to use the restroom during daylight hours.
I'm currently sitting in a field of talus with no shoes, climbed up here inside. I was in the tent getting ready to come out and go to the bathroom. I heard something that sounded very big outside. About 5 seconds later, I had a bear claw in my tent. Kind of peeked my head out of the tent flap, so deployed my bear spray. That backed him off enough for me to get out of the tent.
It turned out she was incredibly lucky to have left the campsite when she did, because what followed revealed just how fast a routine camping moment could have turned deadly.
And at that point, I could kind of tell that he was more interested in the tent. They are still in the woods that are, so like tents down there, and they are like in here. Sleeping bag. And this is what's left of our tent.
Ultimately, she managed to return home unharmed, after an encounter that many people would not have survived. The bear spray functioned exactly as intended, giving her enough space to get away safely. In your opinion, where should the boundary be between adventure and danger? Connor Does Adventures is a YouTube creator who records outings and explorations alongside friends. Most of the channel's content shows casual trips, walking through wooded areas, traveling across desert terrain, or checking out abandoned places where nothing truly dangerous ever happens. But in one video uploaded on September 8th, 2018, something occurs that has never been clearly explained.
Hello everyone, this is Seco Dane. So, tonight, we're gonna do a little desert exploring. Can you see me in the camera?
Yeah, you just need the light.
So, tonight, we're gonna do this thing so dumb, holy crap. Some desert exploring. in our wash. This is Braden's first time. So yeah, it's just me and him tonight. So
Let's start.
So we were gonna go to the tunnels.
It's a kitty cat.
Freaking heck, dude! I keep running it. Okay, this light likes to start. Okay, so there's a wash over here. Oh my gosh.
It sucks, bro.
At the start, the group is simply walking down a dusty road, heading farther into the desert toward an abandoned tunnel. Connor and his friend appear calm and relaxed, acting like many young explorers visiting locations they likely shouldn't be in. As the footage continues, though, the atmosphere begins to change and the situation slowly grows more uncomfortable.
What?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I saw something. Do you see that? Look through the.
I don't know.
Okay, carry on.
Dude, I'm like shaking.
Last time I was out here and I was like freaking 12. I don't even know how I had the guts.
I know. Something's just gonna grab you.
That's you brushing up against that.
Dude, shine your light right here.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh my gosh, dude. No way. Okay.
Holy. What? Hello?
Dude. Hey.
Hello? Dude.
Okay, we get it.
Wait.
It's funny. Know why you're scaring us.
Dude. I don't even feel comfortable going. Where are we supposed to be?
I bet you it's.
Where are we supposed to be?
just-
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay, it's not funny. It's like right there, dude. Oh my gosh.
Dude, that thing's not human. I'm serious.
No,
That thing's huge.
I bet you it is just a kid. Okay, we get it. It's funny.
It's a big kid. Okay, let's just walk.
Alright. Okay, we're just gonna.
Screw you.
Seriously. I hate retards who do that.
They begin noticing unusual sounds coming from nearby bushes, quiet at first, but unmistakable. Initially, they brush it off, thinking someone nearby might be trying to scare them. That explanation quickly falls apart. By the time they reach the tunnel, it's clear whatever is happening is not a joke.
No, I'm gonna have to flipping book it if someone comes running out.
Dude. Oh.
Okay.
Dude, we gotta go! Dude, that thing's booking it! Go!
Dude, I'm trying.
Oh, shoot, go! Dude, go! Gosh!
Coming?
Dude! He's right there!
Oh my god.
Something then comes out of the darkness. A small unfamiliar figure crawls into view, barely human in appearance, and moving in a way that's difficult to explain. Some viewers believe the clip could be computer generated. However, the video was uploaded over 7 years ago, and given how young the creators were at the time, creating something that convincing would have been unlikely. Earlier in the footage, they mentioned being near Area 51, which has fueled further speculation. Without making assumptions, some viewers question whether the location itself could be connected to what appears on camera. There's no confirmed explanation. Whatever was recorded remains unexplained and deeply unusual. Do you believe it was a person and animal, or something still without an answer? In September 2018, YouTuber Christina Lin, recognized for her hiking and outdoor content, went on a camping trip in California. While walking along the John Muir Trail toward her campsite, what started as a tiring day gradually became an unsettling experience.
So I'm in my parents' garden and I am going to tell the scariest story. To give a little bit of context, called the John Muir Trail. It took us about a month to do, me and my friend. We backpacked the whole thing. The scariest moment happened about 1 week or so into our trip. We had been camping, just the two of us. We had been hiking for like 12 hours that day. We were really tired, so we went to go get a campsite, settle down, and maybe like find our camp a little bit earlier that day. So we kind of camped at a place that was like the side of the trail. We had camped pretty much all on our own, but it was on the side of the trail, so we were a little bit exposed to the other people who were passing.
She wasn't traveling by herself, as a close friend was hiking alongside her. Rather than choosing a campsite away from regular foot traffic, they decided to pitch their tents directly next to the trail. At the time, it felt like a practical decision, but it would later reveal itself to be a risky one.
So we both had separate tents. We would set up our tents right next to each other, but we weren't actually in the same tent. We go to sleep, everything is going just fine. I want to say around 5 o'clock in the morning, I see a light outside my tent and I hear footsteps with the light, and maybe my friend's just going pee outside. So then the footsteps start slowly walking around my tent with the light shining into my tent. And later I was talking to my friend, she said she was doing the exact same thing in her tent, like hoping that it was me walking around and trying not to freak out, but it felt like a half hour. Like it felt so long. I was so frightened. And so I hear the footsteps get closer and then they stop at the outside of my tent right at the door. Like I just can't take it any longer. I'm just sitting in my tent like getting freaked out. So I unzip my tent. There is a man I do not know standing outside of my tent staring at me. In the meantime, my friend is sitting in her tent and she thinks that he's unzipping my tent trying to get in. So I'm like, who are you? And he says, I'm Jack. He doesn't say anything. So Jack kind of stares at me and he just gives me like the creepiest look, trying to act aggressive still, even though I'm like terrified in the meantime. He kind of just seemed like he was like in a daze. Like he just said, oh, I thought this was my friend's tent. On the side of the trail is his friend's tent. And even if he did, why would he try to get into it in the meantime? So I was like, yeah, your friends aren't here. And then I zipped up my tent. So then I heard the footsteps slowly walking away from the tent. And I figured like, okay, I'm gonna be safe.
They went to sleep, and for most of the night, everything seemed normal. The forest stayed quiet and nothing appeared unusual. That changed when a man began acting strangely near their campsite. His behavior and explanation left both women uneasy, making them question whether it was an innocent misunderstanding or something much more serious. Eventually, the man left the area, allowing them to rest again. By morning, however, the women were startled by what they found, confirming that someone had stayed uncomfortably close throughout the night.
So then I wake up the next morning and I talk to my friend and I'm like, oh my God, I unzip her tent. I'm like, oh my God, like what happened last night? We look behind our tent and Jack is sleeping on the ground behind our tent. He's just sleeping on the ground behind our tent. So we kind of go up to him thinking like maybe it was all some big misunderstanding this whole time. Were you looking for your friends? He goes, ha ha ha. Yeah, looking for my friends. And then that day we hiked out off the John Muir Trail and I bought a knife that was bigger than my head to carry on me in my tent after that moment.
Unsure of the man's intentions, Christina and her friend quickly exited the forest and ended their trip early. As is often said, the wilderness itself isn't always the greatest threat. Sometimes other people are. Fortunately, both women left the situation unharmed. The man's actions could suggest confusion or intentional behavior, but no clear answer exists. Do you think this was a simple misunderstanding or a dangerous situation narrowly avoided? On January 1st, 2024, Belgian YouTuber Sayaz uploaded a video to his channel titled "The Night I'll Never Forget." From the opening moments, the video carries an unsettling tone, beginning with a warning about the disturbing content viewers are about to see. That message alone establishes the mood for everything that follows.
Ik ga deze video beginnen met een korte disclaimer. Het kunnen zeer schokkende beelden zijn als je deze video wilt uitkijken of niet. Ik heb iets heel heftigs meegemaakt. Iets wat ik nog nooit in mijn leven heb meegemaakt. Dit kan alleen in films bestaan. Als ik het nu allemaal ga vertellen lijkt het allemaal zo ongeloofwaardig. Dus jullie gaan alles gewoon kunnen zien. Zelfs in deze video. Ik ben nu een tijdje stilgevallen met dagelijks vloggen omdat ik dit gewoon even moest verwerken. Dat krijg ik er niet meer uit. Zo'n 6, 7, 8 jaar lang doe ik al urbikes en bezoek ik al verlaten locaties. En ook superveel in de nacht. Maar nooit zoiets heftigs als een paar dagen geleden in de nacht. Ik ga heel snel een beetje vertellen. Ik was met 3 vrienden naar een verlaten camping geweest midden in een bos. Waar ik al 2 keer eigenlijk ben geweest. En de laatste keer was legit een jaar geleden. Een paar dagen geleden zijn we teruggegaan naar dat bos in de nacht. Want dat is een super nice verlaten camping bungalow. Die ons absoluut niet in dat bos wou hebben.
Siaz explains that he and 2 friends chose to explore an abandoned bungalow park in Belgium. It was a place they had visited before without any problems, and previous trips had never led to anything unusual. This time, however, the atmosphere felt off almost immediately after they arrived, creating a growing sense that something wasn't right.
Privaat, dit is een plaats van gebed. Gelief onze ruimte respecteren. Gebed. En daar staat op Pas op, waak. Mobile homes midden in het bos, allemaal verspreid, super vet. En ineens is hier een waakhond.
Je ook gewoon binnen.
Ja, dat is waar, want dat is niet afgezet.
Niks,
Hè? Als je verder parkeert, dan wandelt hier binnen. Maar dat is hier veranderd tot een gebedding, want wat staat hierop? Dit is een gebedplaats. Dat is hier gewoon een zigeunerkamp of een hippie-camping of zo geworden.
Hallo?
Hoort je het? Die deur, die wint niet. Ik hoor zo...
Nee, dat was een beest.
Zeker?
Ja.
Dat is een deur, hè?
Hallo?
Kijk, de wind ook gaan, ja.
Schijnen zo.
Oh, ik hoor van alles hier. Dit is zo eng. Oh, maat.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier binnenkomen?
Wacht even.
Dit is zo creepy, maat. Ja, hoor. Hoor, daar is. Dat is daar rechts. Muziek, JBL Partybox on the go. Ja, maar het zijn hippies of zo.
Nee, ja.
Die paal, dat kop ik in de hubo en ik stik die paal hier in de grond. Daar ziet je een hutje. Dit hier, dat is een soort van hutje en daar staat een fiets bij.
As they moved farther into the area, they came across a barrier marked with a sign referencing a place of prayer. Already uneasy because of the unexpected warning, they decided to keep exploring instead of leaving. It was nearby that they encountered something that would remain with them long after the night was over.
What the f***? Dat is toch niet mijn auto of zo, hè? Hier, maat. Hier wordt letterlijk iemand gemarteld. Hier wordt letterlijk iemand gemarteld in dat bos. Daar is geen licht, kijk. Daar is geen licht. Dat is heel fucked. Wat? Kom gewoon verder. Stel je voor, dat was mijn auto. Wat de f*** is dit, kerel? Ja. Wat, ze komen daar. Zie ze. Ja, die komt naar hier. Kom naar hier. Blijf gewoon hier. Lamp aan of niet? Hallo. What the f***? What the f***? Hey! Oh! Wat? Kom!
Without warning, loud and disturbing screams echoed from deeper within the woods. The group quickly turned off their lights, and soon after they noticed a figure moving toward them. As it got closer, they realized it was a woman carrying an axe. Panic set in, and the three friends split up, running in different directions through the dark forest. Ciaz eventually found a place to hide and managed to contact the police.
Ja, wacht. Hallo? Nu naar hier komen. Fuck. Ik hoor u niet, sorry. We zitten hier in een bos in de Centerlo. We zijn hier in een bos en ineens komt er een man met een mes of zoiets op ons af. Ik denk dat mijn auto kapot is geslagen. En we zijn vies. Kom alsjeblieft heel snel. Oké, ik heb de politie gebeld. Ik heb de politie gebeld. Dus what the fuck is dit?
Later information revealed that the woman lived near the abandoned site and suffered from severe mental illness. The encounter left Ciaz shaken for months afterward. Being chased through the woods at night by someone armed with an axe is the kind of experience that doesn't fade easily. Mental illness may explain her behavior, but the danger was still real. What would you have done in this situation? On November 1st, 2023, Kwadi arrives by himself at an abandoned home in a rural setting as daylight slowly disappears. The footage is shared on Crazy Kwadi, a YouTube channel centered on solo camping and exploring long-forgotten locations. Built in 1925 and vacant since the 1980s, the house still carries signs of a family that once lived there. As night draws closer, Kwadi gets ready to stay inside, uncertain what the structure may still hold after decades of neglect.
While we explore this a little bit. Oh, wow. Look at all the old wallpaper. Ooh, a teddy bear. A little leery of the floor, to be honest with you. Maybe I should have looked in the basement first. Suppose I could set up in here. This is one of the covered porches. Here's the front room. Ceiling's caving in. Yeah, there was a porch on the outside here. And this is kind of what I was planning to stay in, but it looks to no longer exist. Old blinds, old couch. This house was built in like 1925 and it hasn't been occupied since sometime in the 1980s. Been empty, I think, as long as I've been alive. We're roughly there. Is that a piece of a toilet seat? Sketchy, y'all. One bedroom over here. Looks like they may have gotten some snow up here at some point. Nothing in the closet. Look at the old wallpaper. Cowboys. 007 Kodamatic. Oh, look at the old TV. But that's past the hole in the floor. Don't want to get too close to that. And the whole ceiling's about gone here. Upstairs bathroom. Kind of surprised that toilet isn't broken into pieces. Oh, there's the attic access right above me. If there was a ladder, I'd look, but there's no way I'm trying to crawl up that by myself. Well, let's go check out the basement.
Cody starts by searching the main levels, carefully stepping through rooms lined with aged wallpaper, children's toys, and furniture left exactly where it was. The house is silent, yet it doesn't feel truly empty. Each footstep echoes and the belongings scattered throughout suggest people once lived here, then vanished without explanation.
Just an old closet. Yeah, it's dark in here. Do I have my phone? Yeah, hold on. I can use my phone light. There we go. Bunch of broken glass and old paint cans. Not much left. There's the toilet lid. Oh, and that's probably the back of that toy truck. It was a Tonka dump truck. Let's be on door number 2, though. More creepy basement. Oh, there's a big hole. That's cool. Oh, that's creepy. Little kid's shoe. Bullet holes in that thing. We got another shoe. And an old hat. Frenchie's Diesel, Evanston, Wyoming. It's just full of corn cobs all over the floor. More paint cans. That's full of, these all have paint in them. There's a bunch of it down here. Some of these are still intact, look like baby food jars. In a tiny little wooden room. Oh, what is that? That is a dead animal.
He then heads down into the basement where natural light quickly disappears. Among the debris, he notices a small child's shoe with unusual holes, and nearby the remains of a dead animal. The area feels colder and more enclosed, and he chooses this spot to set up his sleeping area, favoring protection from the wind over comfort.
Sleeping in the basement. It's a little warm in here tonight, but we're actually supposed to get some snow later, I believe. And the low temps are gonna be like 20s, 25, something like that. I did bring a small tent, but I prefer to sleep inside because it's gonna snow. There's something up there. There's definitely something up there. Get! I can hear it walking around, whatever it is. Probably a raccoon. There's definitely something upstairs right now. I haven't even cooked dinner yet, and once I do dinner, I'll have to bag that up. It's only 9:30, 9:26. I mean, the wind has picked up a bit. So it could be branches clunking against the house, especially up front, because they're like everything is grown right up to the house. But it sounded like there was something walking around right above me. Yeah!
As darkness fully settles, Quaddy prepares for the night, noting that this is his first time sleeping outside a vehicle in this way. Sounds begin traveling through the house. Heavy movement echoes from above, slow, deliberate, and close enough to follow. He keeps bear spray close, listening and waiting, unsure what is moving through the rooms overhead.
It's just nice to have something warm in my hand. I don't know how well you all will be able to see that, but cheesy chili mac, hatch green chilies, and jalapeno tuna. That's good. Well, I'm still hearing clunks and stuff moving around up there, but it's not near as much as it was earlier. Can you see it? There's a cat. You can come hang out in here. Hope you're not what I've been yelling at upstairs the whole time. Huh. Alright, y'all. Well, I'm just going to let that cat put my mind at ease. That's what I've been hearing. I was sure it was probably a raccoon or something, but the cat's cool.
Later, while making a simple meal in the dark, the noises continue and then abruptly stop. Shortly afterward, a cat appears inside the house. The discovery brings brief relief, but the night remains uneasy. Sleep comes only in short bursts as cold air, unfamiliar sounds, and uncertainty linger until morning. Viewers were split in their reactions. Some believed the sounds came from animals navigating a deteriorating structure, while others questioned the weight and rhythm of the footsteps. In places like this, does knowing the explanation truly reduce the unease, or does the feeling itself matter more? On July 24th, 2025, the YouTube channel Paul So Hard releases footage of a ride that quickly takes a wrong turn. Known for intense riding risky challenges and off-road experiments, Paul sets out with his group expecting another wild outing. This time they are joined by Rob, a less frequent participant who takes on the responsibility of guiding the route. The ride cuts through drainage ditches, flooded sections, and unstable terrain. What starts with humor fades fast as the environment begins to push back. The outing opens with a relaxed mood filled with playful moments and minor stunts that ease the tension. That atmosphere changes when Rob guides the group into a muddy runoff channel. Thick water and heavy mud grip the bikes unevenly.
Look at that wall ride. That's a big one. Bro, it's a straight up madman if he's considering. I guess it doesn't seem that steep to ride up. I'll ride up it. That's low-key doable. Oh my god. That's gonna be such a hard landing. Bro, I pray for your help. Ain't no, that's doable. Ain't no way. It was wild that I almost had to tell him, like, bro, don't do it. But like, that is such a good lip. Bro, I feel like the lip is there not to instigate you. Like, I don't want you to do this, but
Believe it or not, I think I gotta jump in between these two.
in between. Yeah. Oh my god. That landing's gonna hurt. Oh my god. Bro's really doing this. Insane. Guys will do anything but go to therapy. That's the title of this video. He put the rock down there so it's smoother than suspension. Oh, this isn't that steep. Bro, I don't know. That is crazy. Oh my god. That is crazy work. Like, the last thing you want to do is clip the fence. And Rob, dude's like, he's like 40 or something. We'll get his exact age in a minute, but he ain't no spring chicken. Oh my god, he's carving up there for... I need to call his friends and see what they have to say. Do I need to call, see if I should be concerned about you doing this?
If you want to, nah. It looks low from here, but coming up from here it looks a little higher.
Yeah. Because yeah, your suspension's gonna already want to compress.
So if I got speed, second.
second.
I don't know if I want you to do this, bro.
Making movement unpredictable. Rob notices a narrow opening that could allow him to launch upward and clear a fence from the sloped approach. He studies the setup, carefully adjusts his line, and commits to the attempt. The result is immediate and unforgiving. Rob accelerates into the jump and almost makes it across until the rear of the bike strikes the fence.
Oh, it came up a little bit. Oh my god. Imagine just driving down the road and you see a dude flying. Oh, he's up there hyping himself up. Guys, this is no joke. Like, the last thing you want to do is clip the fence. Oh! 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 Oh, shit. You good? You good? Fuck. Damn, he broke his wrist. Damn. Damn, he almost had it. You coming around? You need help? You need help?
Go to the hospital.
Alright. We gotta go to the hospital. Damn it, Rob. Damn it, Rob.
The collision sends him crashing to the ground, instantly breaking his wrist. The injury is severe, overwhelming him with pain, and leaving him close to losing consciousness. His riding partners respond quickly, keeping him alert and getting him medical care without delay. The incident shows how experience and confidence can still collapse when terrain physics and timing work against a rider. Was the danger rooted in the jump itself, or in the gradual buildup of risk that made backing out feel impossible? On November 30th, 2025, what should have been a normal trail camera review begins to feel unsettling on a secluded hunting property. The footage comes from Keeping It Dutch, a channel centered on wildlife observation, land upkeep, and hunting through concealed cameras. Dutch and his daughter Hope check recordings near a creek, an abandoned bus, and a hunting blind. What starts as excitement over animal activity slowly changes, as signs on the property suggest they may not be the only ones monitoring the area.
Okay, so we have made it down here to the creek. We're going to do a little hunting for Hope's birthday. We're going to check them as we go, and I'll keep you guys updated on if I'm missing any or if we got anyone on camera that's not supposed to be out here. Camera number one. And I don't know if these cameras show how many pictures we got or not. Got several on here. I'll be showing you guys that shortly. I'm letting it download to the computer and we'll go check the rest of them. Okay, we may end up putting over here. We're gonna check those cameras and see what kind of activity we got. That's right by the bus. That's a huge 8-point Hope. And it looks like it's coming in right at dark time. Wow. We're not actually hunting right now.
This the buck is right here. Would you run and get the gun?
Maybe. Yeah, you can see a footprint right there. Looks like they were fighting right here. We're gonna check these cameras over here. Okay, so there's a fresh grape. Right there, there's the bus. I think this is the spot for tonight. Be careful. Hey, happy birthday. Okay, that's great. Right there, watch out, behind you. No, they didn't hit that one, but there's one right there too. See how they broke these limbs? It's right next to the bus, right where we're hunting. Okay, we checked the camera, and that big buck's coming over here, but we don't have him during daylight. That doesn't mean nothing. But there's a lot of deer. The most activity is in the morning time, and I have found out this has been a better morning spot over the last few years. I think you want to go across the creek. You want to hunt here. You want to try the other blind across the creek and see what happens, or you want to hunt here, across the creek, here. Okay. Hopefully, birthday girl gets one.
Spot and then the deer are at the other
I know.
spot.
All right, wish us luck.
Dutch and Hope start by reviewing multiple cameras positioned along the creek. The recordings show a large 8-point buck moving calmly near the abandoned bus at dusk. As they wade across the creek to inspect additional cameras, something appears on screen that makes both pause an unexpected image that quietly shifts the mood.
That was this morning at 7. Keep going down. There's several of them. There's a big boar running around here. There's a nice buck too. Keep going down. There he is again. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we might be trapping some hogs here soon. He's a big one. All right, let's go across the creek.
Yeah.
Want to?
Yeah.
All right.
A massive black hog is captured near a hollow tree, its size impossible to overlook. Another buck appears soon after. The animals seem alert, almost wary, as if reacting to something out of view. Dutch notes that the gate remains locked and there are no obvious signs of intrusion, yet the activity on the land feels different.
Okay, so it's been a couple days since I filmed out here. We put the cameras out.
Several days later, Dutch returns alone to check the cameras again. What he finds raises silent questions about how it could have occurred. One camera is still mounted exactly where it was placed, but the SD card is gone. If someone discovered it, why take only the footage? He continues farther into the woods, nearing a cave where the ground shows heavy signs of rooting. Corn has been placed near the entrance, and cameras are positioned to limit what they capture.
Okay, the rain is starting to pick up. That's not good because I got my laptop with me checking these. Okay, we put a couple other cameras that I didn't show you guys on camera out here by the other blind. We were gonna come back this morning and it was raining and stuff. We didn't come. I had a decent little buck that Hope could have for sure got chasing does. Let me show you right now while I walk up here. Okay, you guys seen it. There's a hot doe up there and that buck is chasing it, and that's right where the big one's at. So I'm gonna check these cameras over here, and if there's nothing on camera the last couple days at this spot, then I'm gonna go hunt the bus. Hope didn't want to come with me this evening. Okay, coming up on the first blind. Let's check this camera over here. See if we got anything. Okay, so you guys can see, we got a bit of a problem on our hands. This is out in the middle of nowhere. If this has been at the homestead, it'd been a bigger problem, I guess. But we got a lot of big bobcat that I'm catching all over the property right now. I've got one over here too. And I didn't have any pictures this morning over here. So I think I'm gonna make my way back over to the bus, and I'm gonna set up over there.
Later footage reveals several large bobcats moving through the property. With predators present and unanswered questions lingering, Dutch keeps watching as temperatures fall and daylight disappears. Many viewers focus less on the animals and more on the missing SD card. Wildlife can explain danger, but human involvement changes everything. When footage vanishes but the camera stays behind, are you still watching the land, or has someone begun watching you instead?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.